Okay, it's time to talk about my top 10 games of 2016. This is in alphabetical order. At the very end, I will talk about my number one game. So let's start with Attack on Titan. This was a huge surprise for me. I did not expect to love it this much. You know, anime games are one thing as well as license-based games, and so is Omega Force when it comes to all the Dynasty Warriors. They, you know, kind of average for most gamers, but I still enjoyed them. But man, did they capture the feeling of whizzing past Titans and cutting them down, and yes, it gets repetitive as these tend to do, but it just, the feeling is like nothing else. It's a really, really good game. Next we have Deus Ex Mankind Divided, and I liked Human Revolution when it came out. It was my first Deus Ex game, and really this one is kind of more of the same, but I still really enjoy just the whole gameplay loop of stunning people and tracking them down and just opening up people's houses and rummaging through everything. Just that loop is just really great. The story, not so much. The individual like little cases that you do for the side quests are really great, but the overall plot is not that engaging, I guess I would say, and it's actually relatively short. Now the load times are kind of weird, as well as like the animations in terms of like the cutscenes, but otherwise it's a really good game for the franchise. Now the same can be said for Fire Emblem Fates Birthright, which is the version that I bought, and it's kind of not doing that much new, but it's still a very good game from Awakening. I still think Awakening is a very strong title in terms of everything that it accomplished, and this one didn't really, not necessarily took a step back, but some things are maybe a little bit complicated, like the story, and I don't like how it got split up into not even one, but 3 different stories to get the whole thing, and on that principle alone, I decided I don't want to play any of the other ones, even though I know that they are actual different games compared to, you know, Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon. Now there's like not that many changes between them, but at the same time it feels like an incomplete experience, I would say, but still a really good Fire Emblem game. Like Attack on Titan, Grand Kingdom kind of came out of nowhere for me, and I got addicted to this on my Vita for a long time. It is an amazing game that NAS brought over here. You're just this kingdom of mercenaries, and you're trying to align yourselves with other big kingdoms, and you're just finding this war and the tactical maneuvering. It's just gorgeous, and I'm blathering right now, but it really is a great game. Just a perfect Vita game, even though you can get it on PS4 too. I highly recommend the PS Vita version. If you like Final Fantasy Tactics and maybe some RTSs, I guess, I don't know, just believe me, it's really good. I am so happy that Ratchet and Clank came back in a big way. Even though it's just a remake or reimagining of the first game, it still feels brand new, and I kind of played the first one just to refresh my memory and to see how much was actually different between this one and the old one. And there's actually a lot of similarities. Of course, the story's a little different to make itself more in line with the movie, but yeah, just that classic Ratchet and gameplay, it's just fantastic. It looks fantastic. One of the best looking games of the year, hands down. And it's just, you know, like a lot of the other games on the list, it's more of the same, but still really good. Titanfall 2, I did not play the first Titanfall because I do not own an Xbox One or 360 or PC, I guess, because I think it came on all those platforms. Anyway, the whole multiplayer nonsense was not really attractive to me, so when I saw this was actually having a campaign, I was like, I want to give it a try. Plus, I love mechs, and as you saw in my first person breakdown as I went through Call of Duty and Battlefield 1 and this is the game to really get this fall season. It's fantastic, looks good, plays good, even the multiplayer got me hooked for quite a time, and it's just kind of a fun blockbuster movie that I really like from all the Call of Duty games that I don't think are as strong as anymore. But yeah, this is really awesome. Tokyo Mirage Sessions #FE. Now, when this was first announced as an SMT and Fire Emblem crossover, I was pretty excited, but then when it came out with this weird pop star nonsense, I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this. And when it got announced that it was only gonna be dubbed in Japanese, I was kind of hesitant. But the voice cast is great, it's very cutesy, it's very much along the lines of Persona. Very colorful for the Wii U, fantastic game, probably the best Wii U game that came out this year. if I had to pick one really, because there really is not a lot. There was Star Fox, and that was garbage. But yeah, this is a fantastic title that not a lot of people are playing because it kind of maybe looks weird, and a lot of people just don't have Wii U's. So hopefully it gets ported to the Nintendo Switch, and maybe I can talk about it next year when it gets an enhanced port or something. I hope, because I think it's a really hidden gem, but I think it's actually better than a hidden gem because I just think it's a great game. And I'm going to stop rambling now because it's really good. So Tom Clancy's The Division. I actually almost forgot about this game. It came out so long ago. I believe it was March. And I really like Destiny, and it had that same hook of this just big open world, and you have to be online, and you're running into people, and you're doing all these quests with them for co-op, and the co-op part of it is awesome. The gameplay loop is very repetitive. There's not a lot to do, I would say. And it kind of locks you behind some pretty tough quests if you're doing it alone. So it kind of forces you to actually gear up with people. But at the same time, forcing me to do that actually made me have a lot of really good sessions. So I think if you have some friends to gear up with, I think it'll be a really awesome experience. Even alone, I had some fun, and I think you will too. Funny that Uncharted 4 is at the bottom of the list alphabetically, because it's probably my second choice for Game of the Year. Just a gorgeous game. I did not think that I wanted another Uncharted because the three kind of left off on a good note, but this one just does so many amazing things. I think it is a little long, and I think introducing Sam was kind of a weird thing. I still don't know how I really feel about him. It just is a weird sequelitis kind of thing where you gotta add characters, and sometimes it doesn't really make sense about this person not being mentioned before until now. And some of the backlog stuff where you go back in time and do some things is kind of weird. I don't know. I love Troy Baker, but I don't really like Sam that much. And that's pretty much the only problem I have with the game is Sam. I just don't like him. Even with that said, just the classic Uncharted feel of going to all these places in gorgeous environments is just very fun. And it has a really well-defined ending, and I don't want to spoil anything, but there's so many nice Easter eggs in there, and it's really good. But it's not as good as number one, which is, if I got through the F's, you probably figured it out because of so many things that I have on my YouTube channel and on my writing columns and whatnot of all the various sites. But yes, it is Final Fantasy 15 time. And the Final Fantasy 15 time is over because I have talked to death about it. You know my feelings on it. Even though the latter half of the game, or last third, whatever it is kind of a poor rushed job and unfinished, I still think the core behind most of it is just fantastic. I've been waiting for this game so long, and it feels like it just needs to be my game of the year. I don't know how I'll feel about it a year from now, but right now, I just really love it. And that is my top 10 picks for 2016 games. Of course, you can check out my top 10 hidden gems of 2016 as well. Yeah, there you have it. I still have another video in mind in terms of some awards, but for now, I'll end off on that cliffhanger. Did you know that was a Reaction Examiner video? If you liked it, you should subscribe to me to keep up with everything that I'm doing. Also, if you have some other interests, like sex for example, check out Tomops, which is a comedy sex podcast thing wherein my best friend and I check out the weird and abnormal and the erotic. And of course, you should support me on Patreon because, hey, I want to make the channel better and I want your help to do so. Plus, if you want to check out my writing, check out Game Jerk, where I have archives and new stuff for all projects, okay? You can find all the stuff and more in the description with the links below. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all next time.